The recent playoffs in the Indian Super League saw the drama of the highest order, as the heated South Indian classico between Kerala Blasters and Bengaluru FC saw the yellow side walk out of the pitch before the extra time actually ended, respecting their coach's decision as a sign of protest against Chettri's goal from the free kick, which they felt were taken before the goalkeeper was given time to set up his wall. As scenes get heated in Indian football once again, we turn the pages of history to take a look back at some of the most controversial moments in the history of Indian football. Well, of course, there is no certain metric as to certainly say what was the biggest controversy of them all, and neither are these the only big fiascos that took place. We look forward to your response to this video and making you aware of some more such big shot controversies in Indian football history in upcoming days. To begin with, we go back to the days of the 1980s in one of the most infamous incidents of the Grand Kolkata Derby. Kolkata Derby has always been the hotspot of Indian football for centuries now, and the extraordinary legacy of the heated matches has seen quite a few tragic, controversial incidents occur throughout the course of history. One of the most controversial moments happened on 16th August 1980 during the Calcutta Football League in the Eden Garden Stadium in Kolkata. The supporters of both rival sets were forced to sit together in the same stands that particular day. Without segregation and with little police protection in the stands, the disturbances escalated quickly, and people began to flee to the exits in order to defend themselves. Although many attempted to exit via the tiny gates, several fell, and young fans leaped off the high stands onto the concrete floors to rescue themselves. 16 football fans lost their lives as a result of the inevitable rush it produced. The day later came to be known as Football Lovers' Day to commemorate the victims, but the conclusion of the very occasion was not a fond one. The CFL season was discarded following the event, and the 16th of August has since been observed as Football Lovers' Day to remember those who died on that tragic day. Another exceedingly controversial moment in recent days' history was the arrest of Brazilian great Elano Bloomer. After having an outstanding career in Europe, Elano was one of the first big names to come to India to play in the ISL. He lived up to his expectations and spellbound everyone by winning multiple golden boots. He loved the country so much that he even named his kid India. But sadly, his stay in India did not end very well. The 2015 ISL final between FC Goa and Chennaiyin FC at the Fatorda Stadium in Goa was one of the worst ever. For Chennaiyin FC, it was a standout performance as they defeated FC Goa with a strong comeback to win the championship. Nonetheless, both teams' players and coaches got into a fight after the game. So much so that Elano Bloomer was the subject of an FIR filed by FC Goa co-owner Dattaraj Salgaonkar. Elano was detained around midnight on Sunday and was booked under Indian Criminal Code Section 323, voluntarily inflicting harm, 341, wrongful restraint, and 504, intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace, according to police. Speaking of controversies, one of the biggest talking points for the Indian national team has been, without a shadow of a doubt, the suspension of AIFF from taking part in FIFA competitions. The ban only lasted 11 days, from August 15th to August 26th. The fact that Gokulam Kerala FC women's game was scheduled within this time period cost them a valuable chance to compete in the AFC Women's Club Championship, even if it did not significantly interfere with any other arrangements. The ban demonstrated the extent of fraud that was practiced at the highest echelons of the football regulatory organization. It would be interesting to observe how the AIFF performs in the next few years, with a new staff led by Mr. Kalyan Chaubey. Coming back to the heated Kolkata Derby once again, to perhaps one of the most infamous incidents in the history of Asian football, where Mohun Bagan withdrew their team from the pitch. What should have been a tantalizing showdown between two bitter rivals is instead remembered for the wrong reasons. In the 2012 I-League season, there was a Kolkata Derby. On December 9, 2012, the stadium was full of 85,000 people. Harmanjot Khabra's goal gave Bagan the lead. Odafa Okoli, their tailsman striker, was dismissed just before halfway. The spectators started throwing projectiles towards the field in a tremendous outcry in response to this. Regrettably, one of these missiles hit fullback Rahim Nabi of Mohun Bagan, who was quickly taken to the hospital. Even though there was a lot of tension at the end of the first half, the real dispute had yet to start. To everyone's surprise, Mohan Bagan chose not to pitch their squad for the second half, claiming concerns for their players' safety. Mohan Bagan had to start again in order to escape relegation as a result of being kicked out of the I-League, which they achieved successfully. The Kolkata Derby has never been forfeited before by a team. This decision infuriated many fans and former players, and the club received harsh criticism as a result. Indian football and its controversies have come a long way, from the death of Umakanto Palodhi, a Mohan Bagan fan, because his team lost 5-0 to East Bengal, to the 6 players being sent off in quarter-final game between FC Goa and Jamshedpur FC in the 2018 Super Cup. Even though each club started the encounter with 11 players, the 2018 Hero Cup quarter-final between FC Goa and Jamshedpur FC concluded with just 8 men on each side. During halftime, 6 players, 3 from each side, were dismissed for fighting. It all started when Brandon Fernandes gave the Gores the lead just before halftime. The referee, however, annulled the goal since it had already gone out before the goal on the recommendation of officials who had access to TV replays. The FC Goa dugout was incensed by this choice. Both teams' players looked to be fighting in the passageway. The referee dismissed 6 players, including Curvens Belfort, Subrata Paul and Anas Edathotiga of Jamshedpur, as well as Goa's Bruno Pinheiro, Brandon Fernandes and Sergio Juste, in order to maintain order. FC Goa eventually defeated Jamshedpur 5-1 to go to the semi-finals. To conclude, we can safely say that Indian football saw several controversial moments since its inception. But to look at the silver lining of the grey cloud, it can be said that administration, infrastructure and security measures have surely intensified over the years to avoid the negative publicity of Indian football. Instead, we the fans of Indian football look forward to clever and more transparent days of the game in our country so that our future generations take pride in a clean footballing environment. Thank you for watching the video.